Get your money ready for your next priority with AARP's trusted financial tools. Because the younger you are, the more you need AARP. Start planning today at aarp.org/money.
Welcome to AARP Illinois' virtual event. It's so wonderful to have you with us. AARP is on a mission to connect with individuals across various communities, especially those aged 50 and above. We're here to listen, understand, and address the unique needs of you and your community as we age. Our goal is to enrich your experience by expanding our local activities, providing opportunities for you to discover and engage with all that life has to offer right here in your own community and virtually. As we journey through today's event, we invite you to consider joining our dedicated team of AARP volunteers. It's a chance to make a meaningful impact and help us better serve those 50 plus across the nation. Connect with us and be a part of this vibrant movement toward positive change. Welcome, and let's make this event both fun and transformative.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this AARP Illinois special virtual event. This event is part of AARP Illinois' year-long series entitled Living Black History. Today, we're featuring a true living legend from one of AARP Illinois' age-friendly network cities, Alton, Illinois, Mayor David Goins. I'm your host, Jeff Scott, Associate State Director for AARP Illinois, and we're thrilled again to have Mayor Goins with us today. Before we dive into our discussion, let's get to know a little bit more about our remarkable guest. Mayor Goins has been a leader in the Alton community for decades. He was a graduate of Alton High School. He matriculated to the College of the Ozarks with a full basketball scholarship, and he graduated from college in 1983 with a bachelor's in English. In 1985, he married his lovely wife, Sheila, and they had 3 children. After college, he worked as a detention and correctional officer at the Madison County Department of Court and Probation Services. In 1986, he joined the Alton Police Department, reaching the title of sergeant in 1999, and ultimately retiring from the police force in 2010. He's also been the pastor of the Morning Star Missionary Baptist Church in Alton since 2001. In 2017, he entered the political arena and was elected to the Alton School Board. And in 2021, he became the first African-American mayor since the city of Alton's founding in 1818. Mayor, you already accomplished so much in your lifetime. It's a true honor to have you with us on this AARP Illinois series. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you, and I'm humbled and honored to be a part of this discussion and being invited to this AARP network event, and so thank you very much. It's very, very humbling.
Thank you, Mayor. And I'm going to jump right into our questions today for you, Mayor. Sorry. Share with us how your upbringing shaped your perspectives and your values.
Well, my upbringing was quite different. I can't say I had a bad upbringing, but I just had some challenges in life. I lost my parents. I was basically orphanless by the age of 11, as my mother passed when I was 7, and my father passed when I was 11 years of age. And so my grandmother adopted my sister and I, and so it was quite a challenging time to be that young and not have parents. And so my grandmother was my rock. She really helped fortify and sustain me, and challenged me and encouraged me, and just taught me so much, instilled so many values in me. And the biggest thing that she instilled was that there was a sense that from other family members. My sister was a straight A student, high honor roll, and I was just mid-level. But everybody felt that that my sister was going to make herself out of something, but they thought that I wouldn't make myself anything. And so my grandmother shared those thoughts from some family members, not naming any names, but she encouraged me to prove them wrong. And so my life goal was to turn stumbling blocks into stepping stones. What folks say that I can't do, I was always challenged to prove to them that I could. So that was kind of my foundation.
That's fantastic. Rough beginning. Very fortunate to have your grandmother guide you like that, and you certainly have proven a lot of people wrong, I would say, in that sense. And you've, as I mentioned before, had a very diverse career. How did your different roles prepare you for your leadership positions? I'm going to say, especially as mayor.
Well, it kind of gave me a really good balance. 20, almost 25 years in law enforcement gave me a really, really thick skin, because you have to have kind of a thick skin and a tough skin to deal, in the arena of law enforcement. When you're dealing with people, crime, and everything like that, you have to, have a really thick skin. And so so parallel to that, there was the ministry side of me being called to preach and become a pastor. And so I had a mixture of toughness and compassion all at the same time. And my thought from the beginning, when I started, this journey to become mayor, was that the pastoring side of me really helped me to kind of visualize that being a mayor is kind of like being a pastor of a city, because within a church, if you have all aspects of people, you're going to have children, you're going to have teens, you're going to have adults, single adults, married adults, adults with children, and you're going to have seniors. So the church is basically a microcosm of the city. And so when you look at that, it's just like pastoring on a larger scale, because as a mayor, you still have to deal with every aspect of what, on a larger scale in the city versus what you do maybe on a smaller scale in the church. But it's about meeting the needs of your members versus meeting the needs of your constituents.
Right. And toughness and empathy are two, I guess, should be qualifying requirements to be a mayor. So,
yeah.
And I'm going to go back to the law enforcement and then into the school board. You made that jump. What about the school board or law enforcement experience, I guess, influenced you to run for mayor?
Well, being kind of familiar with the city government, because when you work in law enforcement, it can be political at times. But working in law enforcement, and while I was in law enforcement, I worked in the schools. I worked as a school resource officer, and then I became a DARE officer, and I taught the DARE program, and so having an opportunity to work with kids and work in the schools, and seeing that there was an opportunity, to serve the school district, because some of my greatest memories are from attending school, and so I just saw an opportunity to get on the school board. There was a vacancy, so I actually had to submit, like a resume and everything, and once I submitted it, and them knowing my background, working in the schools with the children, working as a school resource officer, and always having good interactions with the kids, and they felt I was a good fit, and so they selected me to serve out an existing term. And then in 2017, I ran unopposed. So it was, So that was easy. Didn't have to do any campaigning or anything, getting signs, just, put my name on the ballot, and so I got elected.
So, as far as being mayor, and the first African American mayor of Alton, Illinois, tell us your perspective on that. What does that mean to you personally, and what do you think it means for your community?
That's a really a good question, because the whole time I was campaigning, it never crossed my mind.
Really?
That was never a topic. I never said anything about it, never discussed it, never thought about it, because I just assumed, I guess, maybe, that, there had been a black mayor prior
Right.
to me. And so it was election night when I found out that I won.
Wow.
Somebody came up to me, when they had declared me the winner, someone came up to me and said, you're the first African American mayor for the city of Alton. I was like, what? It's like, really?
That's fascinating.
And I was like, oh, wow. And so it took a moment for that to sink in, because It's like, wow, I've made history. And that's, that's something that you can't take away from me. There's so many times in Black history, so many things are hidden from the view of America in regards to the impact of African Americans in the development of our country and everything. And so, but this one is like, you can't hide this one. You can't,
Yeah.
you can't. It's fact, and it's there, and it's a legacy that I'm proud to be able to leave with my family, with my grandchildren, and it just means a lot, not just to people in the African American community, but to the community as a whole. Because I've always had a pretty solid reputation in the community, through my work as a police officer and as a pastor, and so it means the world to me, and it just gives our young people, especially our young African American children, something to say. You know what? If you set your mind to whatever you want to do, whatever you want to be, you can do it.
Absolutely.
And I'm a living example of that, especially from someone who people said really wasn't going to be able to do it. When I became a police officer, people thought that I was not going to last, said he that I wouldn't make it as a police officer. And those challenges, it just motivated me, because it's like, what I found out is when somebody believes I can, that's when I get scared. But when somebody believes I can't, that's when I get mad.
Prove them wrong, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
prove them wrong. Because there's more pressure when somebody says, "Oh, I know you can do this." It's like,
right.
Now I got to really prove myself.
I'm gonna have to do it well. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. When somebody says I can't, then it's like, oh, okay, all
Absolutely.
right. And so that, and then they, when I joined this church, when I became pastor of this church, there were a number of there were people saying that, because this church was known for being kind of rough on pastors, and they said, well, he's not going to last, and he's not going to make it. And so, 25 years later as a police officer, retiring, 20 years later as a pastor and retiring, I think I beat the odds.
I think so. Don't tell the mayor he can't do something.
Yeah. So when somebody was saying, they didn't think that I had what it takes to be a mayor. So that really motivated me as well too.
This is great, Mayor. It's fascinating to me. I can't believe you didn't know that. That's
I promise you, I didn't say anything during my campaign.
Yeah.
About, I didn't even talk. Those words never came off my lips.
Yeah.
I
Right.
never talked about, nobody ever came up to me and say,
Right.
if you win, you'll be the first Black mayor. None of that. It never crossed my mind
It's
until someone said, uh, you came up to me after that I was announced as declared the winner.
yeah.
Say, you're the first African American.
Right.
So that made news in and of itself.
Yeah. Yeah.
It really did. And one of the amazing things that happened that night was that the election was in 2021,
Mhm.
and when I was declared the winner, I was declared the winner with 2,021 votes.
That's a pretty hefty number.
Well, I mean, it's the same as the year.
Oh, yeah. You think about that. That's true. I
Yeah,
guess it was supposed to be then, wasn't
it
it?
was 2,000. Now that was the unofficial count, obviously, because the official count ended up, I think, after it was certified, it was 2176. But the night
Mhm.
that I was declared the winner, I was declared the winner with 2,021 votes in the year 2021. And
Right.
so the media ran with that too, so it
Sure.
was
Right. Yeah. That's
pretty,
interesting.
yeah.
And with that, and what we were just talking about, how do you envision the future of Alton, especially in terms of cultural diversity and community cohesion?
Well, well, obviously, this, when you think about, 1837, when the town was founded, and that was the same year that Elijah P. Lovejoy was murdered, for his
Mhm.
stance against slavery. And so Alton has had a history of, that's not very positive. So, our community has struggled and has some challenges, and so
As most have.
as most have, and there's no magic wand to wave to fix things immediately or overnight, and it's a process. And so we're working on really, looking at all, because at one time Alton was a big industrial town, and a
Mhm.
lot of jobs were there through industries, glass works, lead works, steel works. Um, there are many factories and many factory jobs, and all those left. And so there's a rebranding that's taking place in our city. We're trying to rebrand our city to make it make it like home. So people that live here feel like, wow, this is home. And then when people who come to visit feel like this is home. So we're
Mhm.
really doing a rebranding of our city. We're doing we're in the midst of getting a comprehensive plan done that hasn't been done since 2013.
Mhm.
So new comprehensive plan. We got the RFPs out for that, and along with our comprehensive plan, our rebrand and the rebranding of our image, we are really trying to make our city more attractive, more livable. We have a lot of great projects going on that once we get them done, we want to make our city not just more livable but walkable
Mhm.
and bikeable.
Mhm.
We're and just and attracting guests, tourists, and through the years. And so we're really working on a rebranding of our image to make our
Mhm.
citizens feel proud and then make our visitors want to come and visit.
It is a very neat town. If you're watching this and you've never been to Alton, I would encourage you to go there. It's right on the river. It's a really neat old town.
Yeah,
So
we're
um,
working on some riverfront development as
yeah,
well. We got the cruise ships that we have
yeah.
3 cruise lines that come in, and so
Those are
um, and we're just working on some great projects in the works.
I'm gonna go to our final question because I know you have a lot to do as the mayor. So I'm gonna ask you another question, and then we'll move to the closing. But looking back on your journey, what advice would you give to a young person or even an older individual who's looking to disrupt their aging to get involved and be a leader in the community?
Well, it's you have to embrace the challenges, and know that anything is possible, and anything is possible, and that even when you grow up and becoming something that you never thought you would be, embrace it and don't run from it, because this was not on my radar. This was not one of the things that I wrote as a kid when I grow up, I want to be mayor.
Mm-hmm.
It was something I got drafted to, called to,
Mm-hmm.
and to embrace it. And my biggest thing is believe in yourself, even when no one else believes in you, and turn those stumbling blocks of unbelief into stepping stones to take you higher to where you want to go.
Very powerful and inspiring. Thank you so much for those words and insights. And thank you, Mayor, for joining us today. Wow, you have a fascinating life. And we, again, appreciate your time so much. And I know you're very busy. Like I said, Mayor Goins from Alton, Illinois, if you get down that neck of the woods or up to that neck of the woods, stop in. It's a very interesting and exciting town. So I want to thank you again. And to our audience, thank you again for joining us.
And thank you for having me so much.
Thank you, Mayor. And if you'd like to see another virtual event or want to know what's coming up with AARP Illinois, just go to our website. It's aarp.org/IL. Thank you, Mayor.
And I want to give a shout out to AARP too, because they helped us. I think they supported us in one of our movie nights at the park, and sponsored the movies. Yep. And so I want to thank AARP for being a sponsor for our movie nights at the park during the month of August. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. Enjoyed helping to sponsor that great event, and looking forward to doing it this coming summer.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. So thanks, everybody. Again, if you want to go to our website, it's aarp.org/IL. Have a wonderful day, and thank you for joining us for this event.
Thank you.